And in the film we show that bin Laden was not only part of the war against the Soviet Union during the 80s, he was part of the war against the Serbian state during the 90s, and he was in Bosnia. And his men have been armed by MPRI, Military Professional Research Incorporated, which is some kind of dependence from the Pentagon. That means all that requires a big explanation.
You did a great amount of work, journalistic work, making this film. But don't you believe that if you really want to know the truth about some big historical controversial event, you have days or maybe weeks after it happens to collect all the right evidence? Because after, what is history? The history is the opinion of those who won, or how it happened. And those who lost, they never have their say in history. So the further it goes to history, the harder it is, if impossible, to find the truth.
Well, we are in the middle of the question. You are fully right. I agree with you fully, because now we are speaking through a television network. Well, but we are at the center of the problem. We entered the era where an image can be fully falsified, fully created for nothing, virtual. It's becoming completely real. That means those who have the power to control the media can produce an immediate result. That is the version, with big V, the version. That means 9/11 was Osama bin Laden with 19 terrorists. After that, well, we can work for years to reconstruct the situation, but billions of people will have in their mind the idea that Osama bin Laden has been the author. Look at the moment of today. Well, Mr. Saakashvili attacked South Ossetia. All the media, well, not all, well, there are exceptions also in the West, but the majority of the media of the West told that Russia attacked Georgia, invaded Georgia. And all the public opinion in the West was convinced in 2 or 3 days that the attack was done by Russia. Russia invaded Georgia, and Russia tried even to subvert the democratic regime of Georgia. Well, after that we can reconstruct the truth, but it will be a long work, and in any case we will not reach those people who have obtained the first version of the problem.
Because why? Because people today are arrogant. They want to have, as you say, a version, and for them this is the version, and they don't care about those people like yourself who want to reconstruct something. They've got new stories in the news every day.
But people are not responsible for that. Ordinary people is not responsible. They don't know, simply. They have, well, I can tell you, in Italy, 30 million of people never read a newspaper and never buy a book during their life. That means the huge majority of their information is coming from TV. And this is the main question. They have no alternative. They receive what the mainstream is giving. That what I wanted to say, it would be a very interesting discussion for the democracy, because this way we are losing democracy. Because if a little group of people is in condition to manipulate the public opinion to that extent, we will go out from democracy very soon. We are going already out of democracy.
Okay, let's get back to 9/11. You propose a new investigation, a reinvestigation of the events?
Yes,
You insist on that?
I insist on that.
You think it makes sense and it is possible?
I think that it is a political step which will be very useful for everybody.
Who must launch it, Europeans or the Americans?
Well, I would like to have a consistent group of intellectuals, academicians, professors, politicians, who will take all together the courage to say, we don't know the truth. We need to have a clear understanding of what happened in 9/11, because, on the contrary, we will not be free to interpret and to face what is coming on. And because I believe that the crisis is very deep now. It's an energetic crisis, is a climate change crisis, is a financial crisis, is a water crisis. We are going in a situation very unpredictable. And if somewhere there are people who are convinced that the sole way to go out is the war, we will be all in danger. That means it's not an historical question, it's a today question. This is a question of today. That means to know what happened in 9/11 is a very important, crucial question to face the future of the world, of the planet, I should say. That is my idea. I believe that there are in the world many people able to understand.
Well, as far as I understand, well, listening to you right now, you are trying to make this investigation of yours like a political issue in relations of the United States with the rest of the world. Does that mean that you are not happy with the state of relations, interrelations between Washington and Europe?
No, I am not at all happy. I believe that Europe should defend itself from the today administration of the United States. Our interests are not coinciding with the interests.
Well, but it will change in a couple of months.
I don't know. First of all, I am not sure that it will change because I see that Mr. Cheney is behaving like he will stay in power. Well, as Azerbaijan, Georgia, Ukraine, and Italy, it shows that they are determined to go on. I am not sure that there will be a change. But in any case, I want to be clear on point. Even if Obama will win, the question facing the United States are so big that I don't believe that for the next president of the United States will be easy, even if it is a democratic oriented man, because he should say the truth to the United States. The United States are in debt with the rest of the world for an extent which is impossible to repay. What they will do when it will be clear that the United States will never repay? They have to change their life. Well, the Europeans also have to change their life, and the Russians also have to change, and the Chinese also. That means we need another idea of the international architecture, which is not unipolar, which is a gathering of all states, of the big and the little state, to discuss together how to use the resources, the remaining resources. If we find this way, and Europe can give its own very big help to this direction, we will be more free and more able to face the future.
Well, you're an optimist because many politicians today say that the reality of today is that there are no more gatherings of little states, medium states. There are centers of power, like Washington, Moscow, Beijing. If Europe wants to be a center of power, it should stay united and become a center of power in order to be heard. This is the only way, don't you agree?
Yes, I agree with you. I would like that Europe be united, because for this gathering, Europe is absolutely necessary. For one reason, Europe is not armed. Europe has not strategic arms. So certainly there is France with its own strategic arms, and there is a little bit England. But we are strong not because we are armed. We are strong because we are peaceful, to a certain extent. That means Europe can be a very good partner for everybody, for Russia certainly, for China, that we can play a very big role in putting the question on the table.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being with us. And just a reminder that my guest today was Giulietta Chiesa, member of the European Parliament and maker of a controversial documentary, Zero, Inquiry into September 11th. And that's it for now from all of us here. You can always drop me a line at algorithm@rttv.ru, and let's keep the show interactive. We'll be back tomorrow with more first-hand comments on what's going on in and outside Russia. Until then, please stay on RT and take care.